in the vast tapestry of human existence. The aphorism "we suffer more often in imagination than in reality" emerges as a profound reflection upon the intricate workings of the human mind and the potent influence of perception upon our experiences. As we embark on a philosophical journey into the depths of this statement, we are compelled to contemplate the paradoxical nature of suffering, the power of the human imagination, and the potential for liberation through profound self-awareness. At its core, this quote calls attention to the pervasive propensity of the human psyche to engage in anticipatory suffering, a psychological phenomenon in which individuals subject themselves to anguish, anxiety, and distress long before any real adversity materializes. This predisposition is intricately tied to the human capacity for imagination, an extraordinary faculty that enables us to traverse the realms of past, future, and the hypothetical. Philosophers have long grappled with the notion of suffering, seeking to decipher its origin and significance in the human experience. Thinkers like Schopenhauer have regarded suffering as a fundamental aspect of existence, while existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre have explored the psychological and existential dimensions of anguish. However, this quote invites us to consider a different facet of suffering, one that often remains concealed beneath the layers of our mental projections. The human imagination, while a source of creativity and innovation, can also become a crucible of suffering. When misdirected, it is within the caverns of our minds that we construct elaborate narratives of distress, weaving intricate stories of impending doom, catastrophe, and hardship. These mental fabrications, fueled by fear, uncertainty, and negativity, serve as the breeding ground for the suffering we experience in anticipation of events that may never come to pass. The question that naturally arises is, why does the human mind tend towards this inclination for anticipatory suffering? Philosophers, psychologists, and neuroscientists alike have sought to unravel this enigma. Some suggest that it is an evolutionary trait, an adaptive mechanism rooted in our ancestors' need to prepare for potential threats. Others posit that it is a byproduct of our complex cognitive abilities, a side effect of our capacity to simulate scenarios and imagine various outcomes. Yet this inclination toward imagined suffering becomes a double-edged sword. While it may have once served as a survival advantage in contemporary times, it often morphs into a self-inflicted mental anguish. In our age of information and interconnectedness, where news of global crises reaches us instantaneously and the mind navigates a ceaseless torrent of data, our imaginations can run wild with hypothetical disasters. The philosophical insight offered by this quote beckons us to scrutinize the consequences of this penchant for imagined suffering. It reminds us that the suffering we endure in our minds, while vivid and palpable, is often far removed from the actuality of our lived experiences. The vast majority of what we dread and anguish over remains confined to the theater of our imagination, a mental landscape that can be both powerful and deceiving. Yet within this very realization lies the key to liberation. To recognize the dominion of our own minds over the suffering we experience is to embark on a transformative journey towards self-awareness and emotional freedom. It is an invitation to confront the distortions and fabrications of our imagination, to discern between the real and the imagined, and to reclaim agency over our mental landscapes. In conclusion, the quote "we suffer more often in imagination than in reality" unfolds as a profound contemplation on the human experience of suffering and the remarkable role played by our imagination. It challenges us to navigate the intricate interplay between perception and reality, and it underscores the profound impact our thoughts can have on our emotional well-being. It serves as a poignant reminder that the mind possesses the power to both ensnare us in suffering and liberate us from its grasp. An invitation to embark on a transformative journey towards self-awareness and emotional liberation.